Hello and welcome to this Busters Taste Challenge. Now, last night, it was after dark. It was it was as nighttime approached. It was twilight. It was a twilight taste challenge. The green label Kentucky Bow versus Banker's Club. Kentucky Bow is one of the few blended whiskeys I've noticed that does not have the drab, sort of like linen yellow or cream color yellow with like brown or black or some kind of washed out gold trim. I don't know why, but most of these blended whiskeys have that same color scheme: brown, gold, black, dark brown. Just like light beers usually be blue and silver cans. You ever notice that? And rye whiskeys be green labels generally. So there we go. Dant's Charcoal Perfected. Now, J.W. Dant Company was truly established in 1836. It was an independent company, and it was bought out like so many. And now it's owned by Heaven Hill, and it's bottled in Kentucky by Heaven Hill. Old style blended whiskey with natural flavors and caramel color. Look, most blended whiskeys have natural flavors added. Canadian, for sure. American, almost always. And caramel color added. But they're not required to disclose that fact. But this bottle is telling you straight up, out front, it's got coloring added. So it's not, if they didn't add the coloring, it would not be amber. It would probably be a very light gold and probably not appeal to a whole lot of people. Wouldn't matter to me personally. I don't care. But other people are funny about it. They want it to look like bourbon. Yeah, but it's not going to look like bourbon in a used barrel. So they add color. They do that with Scotch. Beer Hounds, beer reviews. Well, how do, Ron LaRue? Hello to you, Beer Hound. I see you've been doing a lot of videos. Most of the beers you've been doing, I haven't ever had. So, of course, I don't watch videos for beers I haven't had because I can't relate to it. And I got so many that I have had that I got to watch. There's one video coming up. There's a guy named Paul's Beer Reviews. There's probably 80 videos he did that I'm trying to do at least one a day to watch his. And then there's this Berliner Weiss hemp oil thing from Terrapin. Terrapin Brewing has gotten high on this hemp beer, so I bought it. I said, oh, well, Berliner Weiss, I could live without that. Hemp beers, I could certainly live without that, but it wouldn't hurt to try it. Okay. So here, this was introduced in 1956. I see the big handle bottles at Dorgnac's. They're like $16.99. No age statement. No age statement. There may be a straight bourbon version of this, but I have not seen it, although I think it exists. All good. I enjoy you and Mr. David doing the tailgate parties. Oh, yeah. Well, what happened there was people, it's going to seem like we staged it. Like, oh, let's make it look like two buddies sitting on the back of the truck tailgate and having a good time, hanging out and shooting the breeze. But it really wasn't that. I mean, that's what it turned out to be. But really, I just said, oh, man, the lighting is great out here. It was really brilliant sunshine after such a dreary morning. And I said, let's go out there because, the lighting in his house is dim. So he said, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. And then he said we could sit on the tailgate like people actually do. And I said, yeah, that's a good idea. So it was convenient. It worked out. Of course, you had cars in the background passing and people walking, but what you can't do much about that is a natural setting. It wasn't staged. Okay, so this is now the Bankers Club, introduced in 1969. There's a whole line of products from them meaning Laird's and Company, Laird and Company. There's Bankers Club Straight Bourbon. I'd like to find that, but that's the one I want to find, but I haven't seen it. I wish Total Wine would sell it, but I'm going to check. Maybe they do have it and I didn't see it. It's no rush, though. I got too much bourbon anyway. Maybe in a few years I'll try to find it. Bankers Club Brandy. I'd buy it. Gin. I wouldn't buy the gin, but it's there. Gold rum. I would buy that. Silver rum. I would buy that. blended Scotch. I would theoretically buy it and in the vodka. The reason I wouldn't really buy it is because I got so many Scotch brands I want to get to that are going to interest people a lot more. You say you're trying to get views. You're trying to get views. No, not really. I mean, obviously the point of making videos to people to watch, right? So yeah, you want people to watch. You want views. It's just that I think more people would be interested in Ballantine Scotch than some obscure brand. I would be too. I'm not saying it's going to be better. I'm just saying it'd be more interesting. Yeah, man, those were really good reviews, really warm and real. And I got 2 more coming from that day. We did 4. 2 that I brought and 2 that he had. And then he came over the next day. He called me up the next day. What's going on? I said, nothing. I was planning to watch some basketball and stuff. I said, why are you, what are you calling about? And he said, I was thinking about coming over. I said, okay. So we did more videos here. In my backyard in front, the azalea bush was full of flowers. They're all bloomed. They're probably going to be deteriorating in the next day or 2. Those things don't last. They look pretty, and then they go on. And all of this rain probably knocked down half the flowers. So I'm going to go look today and see how it looks and do a video out there if it's decent weather. But otherwise, I think it's just ruined. I'm glad I got a few videos in front of the azaleas. Usually to get better weather in springtime, I think. Here's the one coming up tomorrow, Saturday morning. Clubhouse. Same old drab thing, see? Cream color and brown. I don't mind that. It's just kind of bland when you got them all lined up on the counter. Usually when I think of March and azaleas, I'm thinking of dry weather, about 62 degrees, you know, sun. But no. No. BC Bankers Club. We've got humid weather, very humid. Humidity, you know, heat or warming weather and clouds and rain. So not really working out on that end. Drinking Swami's IPA. Huh, never heard of that one. Sure it's good. All right. Or I hope it's good. Okay, same level. A few ounces each. Nice alcohol legs, typical. The charcoal perfected is darker. But like they're telling you, they're adding caramel color. Are they adding caramel color to the Bankers Club? You know they are. You think it's going to get that dark after 3 years in a used barrel? No, wrong. Swami is by Pizza Port. That's foreign to me. That's like you speaking a foreign language. But not to say I'm opposed to it. We get a lot of beers around here that y'all don't see, so it's kind of like the same, flipped. I was at Mathern's yesterday looking at their beer selection. I said, man, how could I ever review all of these? Got so many beers I never heard of, and they're expensive too. I mean, $4.99 for each can or bottle. Mostly cans these days. I said, ooh. That's a lot of money to put down, then it's gone. At least with the liquor, you put, okay, you say you only paid $6.49 for that charcoal perfected. That's true. Which is not much more than these cans of beer, but this I've been dealing with for months now. Over a year. Because I bought it when the scamdemic first got going. I bought it in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi on US Highway 90 on the westbound side of the highway at a liquor store in a strip mall shopping center. I don't remember the name of the place. It was a nice little liquor store. The guy was like all paranoid, you know, oh, keep your distance, stay in here, move slowly to your left. And I'm like, he never heard of viruses before. But anyway, I said, if I can get around his like mania, like paranoid mania, I could do some shopping. But Backacre Distillery, Yeah, the Dant Distillery. Yeah, it's Heaven Hill Distillery. But anyway, I bought it. I said, let me buy it and get out of here because I'm never going to see this again. But as it turns out, I did see it at Dorgmax in Metairie, Louisiana. But I would have had to buy the whole big hand of bottle. No big deal, but I'd rather have this one. Yeah, I said scamdemic, Peter Green. Equals truth, right? Right. Well, you can't fool all the people all the time, but we've shown in the last year that you can fool most of the people most of the time. The sheeple. All right. Anyway, enough of that. You're living in your fantasy world. It's the same around here. And it was really the elderly that they terrorized. I said to myself, once they terrorized the elderly, they got it in the bag because they're already old and they're terrified of dying, apparently. And they told them, you're going to die, you're going to die so easily. And they just got paranoid and scared. And then they like to tell people what to do anyway, generally. So they're like, you better do this and that. And I'm like, well, they got it in the bag, But I was glad that this 91-year-old lady around the corner from me, she was like, I don't care what happens. She took no precautions. She's like, I'm ready to go now. All my relatives, she's real negative in a way. All my relatives are dying. And why won't God take me? I'm still alive. I want to go. But I think that's mostly just like histrionics, it's just like her own nuttiness in a way, because I know her family is there sort of nutty, but she didn't care. She was like, I don't care if I catch that. And she never got sick. All right. What is your upper limit of IBU that you still enjoy? Oh, I like the 102. The Lagunitas Hop Stupid is 102. I liked it. Yeah, people were telling me I had it too back around the holidays, Christmas and New Year's. I don't know what I had. I felt kind of sick, not really sick. Sure didn't feel as bad as when I had the flu in 1994. Oh boy, I was so sick. But I didn't feel as bad as when I have a common cold. When I have a cold and you got a sore throat in your nose and all, oh boy, I feel so sick. But that thing, I didn't really feel bad except for one evening. So I laid down at 6 p.m, went to sleep, woke up, felt fine. I coughed, for about a month, but really not that long, 3 weeks. But I was sniffling. Couldn't smell or taste anything for a week to 10 days, but people said, well, you had a mild case. You're lucky you didn't die. Well, that's how it works for any kind of virus like that. Most people will get a mild case and you'll have a few that will die. This is the way the world works. Right? This is not news this should not, just because the government tells you something for the past year, it should not be news to you. This is not news. This is old news. That smells like caramel corn candy. Are you going to get the vaccine? Craft beer-tastic. No, I don't plan on it. All right. I have no intention of doing that. This smells very corn oriented. Well, of course, it's mostly corn. It's 80% grain spirits, I think, but they don't give the blend ratio on the charcoal perfected Dants. But it's probably 80% grain spirits. Can't say that for sure. And those are made out of corn almost always. They don't have to be. You can use any kind of grain, expensive or cheap. Corn is the cheapest, so that's what they're using. And then it'll be 20% straight whiskey. Could be corn whiskey. So basically, I'm drinking flavored and colored corn liquor. Well, if you want to say moonshine. Okay, you say, and it's dripped through charcoal to perfect it. Now, when you drink that, you're not going to think it's perfect, though. This smells like the same thing, but this one has more of a honeydew melon thing, which is a bad marker for Heaven Hill brands. Oh, that has a trace You're talking about one of the J&J one, yeah. I'm not really into that whole, like, theoretics about this whole thing. I read about it a lot on certain websites I read, but I just say, I don't really talk about it too much. But I certainly don't worry about, I worry about the implications of it. I don't worry about the actual sickness of it. I mean, who wants to get sick? You say, well, crazy people want to get sick. Well, yeah, but I mean, normally, no. This tastes like sweet corn. I don't know what to tell you. All right. Oh, daylight's coming in a little bit. Hate daylight savings time. It's like sweet candy corn. I would not ever want to drink this on purpose. Like, you know, when you come home from work, you want to drink some whiskey. No, I don't know about that, because I never come home from work and want to drink whiskey. I come home from work and drink water, and then I drink one or usually at least 2 12-ounce beers. Some like right now I got natural light, sorry for the missteps, natural ice in the fridge. I got a 12-pack for $9.49. A 15-pack for $9.49. Not the best price, but I'll say, oh well, that's inflation thanks to the Federal Reserve System. So I never drink whiskey on purpose. I only drink it on reviews and the taste challenges. You say, well, you're drinking it every day. Sometimes you double up if you know you got something to do the next day. So you're practically drinking it 365 days a year. Yes, but beyond that, I don't drink it. You know what I'm saying? That's right. We have immune systems for a reason. Do you have any? Oh, no. I don't have any of that. I have the kind of money that you can hold in your hand, the fake kind that you know, the fiat money that you can hold in your hand. You know, coins made out of worthless metal and dollar bills printed on paper that are worth nothing, but since the government says that, it's like little certificates that you trade with each other. That's what that is, you know, that kind of money that we use. It's pretend money, you know. It used to be real money. Money used to be real commodity money. That's why you didn't have inflation for like over 100 years. Well, really for the first, till about 1912, you didn't really have inflation. A little bit you did during the silver boom, when they had these silver mines discovered out west, and they started coining all this silver like crazy. So you had silver certificates and dollars. So then, of course, when you increase the money supply, then you increase then the prices will start to creep up. But anyway, and then the gold disappeared off the market, because we know one of the laws of economics is that the cheaper metal always chases the more expensive metal off the market. I mean, what I'm tasting is not bad. I'm not tasting these and thinking, oh, it is so bad. It tastes so bad. And I can name a bunch of products that taste literally bad. Okay. These are not them. I trade beers for homemade fresh salsa. That's a good barter system. So would I recommend these? I would recommend them if you want some very inexpensive liquor to mix with Mountain Dew or Delaware Punch or Yoo-Hoo or whatever, you know, because I know somebody, he said his grandma drinks whiskey with milk. Sounds bizarre to me, but if she enjoys it, I don't care. Well, you say, well, what if some people want to mix beer with pineapple juice? I mean, whiskey with pineapple juice. I'm sure it wouldn't matter. Whatever you want to do, you could mix it with coffee for all I care. But that's what most people do. Most Americans, at a minimum, are putting it on ice, right? Pouring it over ice, or adding seltzer water. You know what I'm saying? Like Canada Dry or the cheap Food Club brand thing. So, but that's fine. These will work fine for that if you don't expect a lot, and a lot of people, they don't really care. As long as it's cheap and it doesn't taste foul, they'll drink it. Well, it is cheap and it does not taste foul. So what can I say? It's basic. These are two basic products. That's why they're at the bottom of the shelf, and that's why they are so cheap. No, I don't know. I mean, nothing else to say. I've been converting all of my fiat currency for valuable tools and guns, ammo, so when the crash out. Yeah, that might help. I've been hearing about this since I was 8 years old. The coming crisis. It's just around the corner. It's all over. It's all over. That was like 1976, and I was hearing about this. Get ready, brothers. Get ready, sisters. The end is near. It's near. It's near. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Mother, 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 mother. All right. So but then nothing ever happened, you know. So, but and I think a lot of that was promoted by Lyndon LaRouche back in the 70s and 80s. Lyndon LaRouche was a very strange person. He died in 2020, right? Or late 2019. 2020, I'm pretty sure. Or late 2019. He was very old, like 97. He made a career out of that, predicting the end of the world or the end of civilization, like pretty much for decades. And he ran this very cult-like group. They did great research. That was the thing. Like they printed this magazine that nobody read because it was like thick and full of text. The articles would be like 25 pages long and with heavy footnotes and annotations. And it was a very expensive magazine. But what you'll notice is that a lot of other people that predict the same things will like basically steal from them. Stole from his organization, like this guy named Alex that was always to me he seemed like he was hopped up on medicine a lot. He talked so much his voice was like I watched him a few times. I said to my friend Paul, I said, he's crazy, you know, or he's high on medicine. He'd be talking crazy out of his head like Elvis Presley, you know, the last couple of years. So I said but then the reaction of his followers were like, how dare you criticize the great Messiah? He knows what's going on. You probably work for them too, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, you can always tell if it's a cult by what the followers say, you know, when they flip out, then you know, right? At least I have something. Right. So I think that LaRouche did a lot of the heavy lifting as far as the research models. And then everybody else would be stealing from them. Because they'll talk about stuff, and I'm like, oh, I read that in a 1978 magazine. You know, that's not new. And he was a past master of like using implied speech, you know, like saying one thing but meaning something else. I said, he's something else. Okay, anyway, well, I'm not going to predict anything except that these are both kind of ho-hum. Not bad. Oh, there's a shadow of daylight. Gonna go walking. They're not bad. They're just not. Well, what can I say? I've said it. Okay, I'll keep repeating myself. They're just kind of regular. Now, can I tell them apart? Oh, well, this is going to be difficult. Does the charcoal perfecting help it? Well, I guess it doesn't hurt it, but I don't know about helping it. Last sip, and then I'm going to try to make my determination of which is which. Candy corn. You ever wake up and say, I'd like to drink candy corn? Right. No, you never do that. It tastes like honeydew melon in the undertaste, which seems so aberrant. That's got to be that Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill, you make me ill. Heaven Hill, you make me ill. I think this is the Bankers Club because I'm not picking up that honeydew, and it might be a little bit better. I think it is a little bit better. It is what it is. Corn grits. Oh, yippee-ki-yay, motor scooter. All right. Here we go. I hope it says BC. Excuse moi. It does say BC. Don't you ever question my expertise, or I should say my luck. It is a 50-50 shot. But no, I think I did have it right because of that strange aberration called honeydew melon, which should not be associated with this blended whiskey. But there it is almost every time with Heaven Hill. Man, I don't know what's going on in Heaven Hill, but it's weird. They got some funky, weird tasting stuff. Oh, well. Now, talk about an exotic, super cheapo product. This is coming up for Saturday morning, but I have to do one for Monday, and I'm not going to have time Monday with Multi Monday coming because I think I got to find a oatmeal stout. Oh, I'm not going on a big old search for oatmeal stout, though. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's not really popular anymore, and I'm not going to look high and low for it. I know I can find Samuel Smith's, but what I'm saying is I'm not going to go look high and low for Samuel Smith's oatmeal stout. If I see it, I'll join. If I don't see it, I won't. It's as simple as that. Nothing personal, you know. But so I might have to do this later today, but I gotta do some other things. Man, this thing is an exotic. This is even more off track. This has to be one of the worst American blended whiskeys on the market. I can get a liter bottle. This is a liter now, a liter bottle for $5.99. Ain't no cheaper than that. That's about as cheap as it comes. A liter bottle for $5.99. And they got brandy, which I never tried, or so-called brandy. They've got rum, gin, vodka, all kind of craziness. And they all got different colors. Like the gin is green label or blue label. The rum is green. The vodka's red. The so on and so on. And this is the blended whiskey. And they all $5.99 a liter. It's a screwed up product. Now, my friend David was looking for a new job last year, so he was trying to like convince himself that it was good. Oh, that stuff's pretty good. I was like, really? And he was buying it, you know, at international market. And then eventually, when he got a new job and everything was copacetic, he was telling me, I said, why are you not drinking that Clubhouse? You got half the bottle left. Oh, that stuff's not really that good. I said, funny how the presence of money or the lack thereof can change your perception of a product. I said, but it's making me sick every time I come to your house and I see that bottle sitting there. I said, you need to drink it down so I don't have to look at it. You know, I'm sick of looking at it. I don't mind. I'll put it in my cabinet. I don't have to look at it. Oh, well, phooey on you. But Clubhouse is coming up to close out the highly questionable Heaven Hill lineup. And then we're going to transition into Sazerac products like Old Thompson and 75 South and Grand Legacy. Now, if you're looking for a cheap blended whiskey, believe me, you believe you, me, Sazerac is way better. They make way better stuff because most of it is made through Glenmore and Buffalo Trace. I didn't say it was good in Bardstown, Barton 1792 distillery, but it's way better. So, yeah, I think the Sazerac products are going to really battle against the Bankers Club. But I have to say the Bankers Club is not bad. It's not bad. my initial experience with Laird's is positive. It's very positive. So I think if this is any indication, if you go with Laird's of New Jersey, you might just be happy. Sazerac, a winner. McCormick, a winner. Laird's, a winner so far. Heaven Hill, no, 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 no.